If the Bible was copied over and over and over again, how can it be reliable? The English Bible you read today is a translation from Hebrew, Greek, and Aramaic. The translators use copies of the original documents or autographs. That's what theologians call the original writings of people like Moses, King David, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, Paul, and the other penmen that wrote the Bible. To our knowledge, none of the original documents or autographs remain today. Today, there are over 5,000 ancient complete copies of the New Testament. Wouldn't it stand to reason that, like a game of telephone where one person passes a message to another and then to another and another, that these copies were being made and the message or what was written in them would change over time? Wouldn't the translation we have of the Bible today be basically unreliable? The simple answer to this question is no. In fact, the large amount of copies of the Bible actually give the Bible more credibility, not less. The more copies we have of a particular book, the more opportunities we have to compare the copies for accuracy. Also, the closer in time those copies were written to the original documents, the fewer chances there would be for error. We rely on the historical accuracy of ancient texts that have far less verifiability than the Bible. Take a look at this chart. Here are many other ancient texts that historians consider to be reliable records of historical data. Tacitus, the third from the bottom, was a historian. We have 20 copies of what he wrote, and there's a time gap of 1,000 years between the oldest copy and his original writing. Notice how few copies we have of Tacitus and the many other ancient texts listed on this chart. Also notice the enormous time gap between the date of the original writings and the earliest copies we have of that writing. At the bottom of this chart is the Bible, a book who has over 10 times the number of copies and dates incredibly close to the original writings. Some fragments of the Bible we are finding today are only 20 years after the writing. If you buy into the fallacy that just because something has been copied, it can't retain its integrity, then you won't be able to trust any ancient historical writing. The fact remains, the Bible is not just an accurate ancient document, it is the most verifiably reliable ancient document that we possess in the 21st century. The Bible is accurate. Thanks for watching The Curious Conversation. Do you agree or disagree? Join the conversation by liking, sharing, or subscribing. If you have a curious question, ask it in the comments and start your own conversation by sharing this video with your friends.